Gonna go outside, gonna go outside, gonna go outside. Gonna go outside, gonna go outside, gonna go outside.
Daily cases surged.
COVID toll remains relentless.
Worn out about this, but we've got to hang in there.
65 Americans dying from COVID every hour. Shows 2/3 have never been.
Please stay home.
With whatever reasons face you to be inside, whether that be weather, you don't die from any airborne related diseases, or you just want to be cozy inside. There are many party games that you can play to make the inside times more exciting, such as Minute to Win It. What is Minute to Win It? I briefly get into this in part 1 of this Minute to Win It trilogy. It is a game show where contestants take part in a series of 60-second challenges that use objects that are commonly available around the house. And these games that I'm going to present to you, similar to part 1, you can play them differently to involve bigger groups. There's also a head-to-head version in which multiple people are doing the challenge at the same time, and it's whoever finishes first wins. You can do a team version, which is similar to head-to-head, but as a team, and when you complete the task, your teammate comes in and must complete that task as well. And whichever team finishes first wins. But let's get the buying list of everything you need for part 2 and 3. So keep that in mind, which is $16. And part 1, which had 13 other games, that one came to $13. 30 red solo cups, about 12 ping pongs, a bag of balloons, total of 12 dice, 2 pairs of chopsticks, 4 teaspoons, a total of 8 straws, 24 pencils, bag of marbles totaling to 6, 2 tennis balls, a crayon, about 8 meters of string, a big boy spoon, a bag of M&Ms or Skittles, lighter balls, but you can use the tennis balls, 2 popsicle sticks, don't worry about that, 3 bowls, wine glass, a piece of paper, and that should be everything. The list is also going to be available in the description below, so you can just copy and paste that and grab everything you need. And the games themselves, just like the Minute to Win It style, each game explanation will be no longer than 60 seconds with time codes in the description if you're looking for a specific game. Let's start with the awkward pyramid. The goal is simply to stack a total of 6 cups on top of each other while balancing the stack with only one hand and grabbing the cups with the other. If the stack performs a Humpty Dumpty and falls, try again before that 60 seconds runs out. To make it more difficult, you can force only 1 cup at a time, which makes it harder to balance. You can put cups on the ground and stand up, so you're gonna have to pick them up, or you can do this with 8 cups, which makes it much harder. The trick is to either open your hand completely up so the cup has a flat surface to balance on, or you want to close your hand just a little bit so that the edges have somewhere to equally balance on and you can squeeze to keep it up. Getting that balance is the first step to success, and once you get that first cup, you can always adjust the higher ones to make it a little bit easier. This one is a quick and easy, straightforward game that establishes what is to come next. Suck it up. We really wanted to try this one because it was supposed to be one of the most difficult challenges, but we couldn't even set it up, and maybe that shows the difficulty. We did an easier version of this in part 1, so if you want to check that out. I'm mentioning this game only because sometimes you just need to make some small adjustments. This one, the idea is that you're supposed to be standing straws on a table that don't have any physical or emotional support, making it easy to knock over. You use the straw to use your powerful lungs. Wow, look at those airbags. Pick up the candies with the straw and then place it on top of the straw so it does not move on top of that unstable pedestal. Once you have done it for all 4, well, you did it, kid. We were using a giant bag of M&Ms that were caramel coated, which were so delicious. Too delicious. Puddle Jumper, my favorite one from part 1. You have 3 sets of jumps that are set up at a distance that is not good for social distancing. Come on, cups, get your head in the game. Place these cups at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches away from each other. The cups are full with water, and you're gonna use those powerful wind-making machines, your lungs, to have the ping pong ball jump and make those 3 successful jumps. As you can tell from our amazing skills and how strong our lungs are, definitely recommend using a towel because you are going to make a water park amount of mess. If you you are not limited by the 60 seconds. You can create as many jumps as you want with as many cups as you want. We did a version of this in part 1 in which we created an obstacle course, making that you need to bob and weave the ping pong ball. You're gonna find a lot more water on the table. So choose where you're doing this wisely. The more that the cups are filled with water, the easier it is going to be to play this game, and the easier it is going to be to make a slip and slide in your house. A Bit Dicey. Another of the classic stack that thing on top of another thing so it doesn't fall down. But this time it is with a RPG player's paradise with lots of dice. You will have one popsicle stick in your mouth and you are to stack one dice at a time on top of each other. Once you have stacked 6 of those cubed numbered boys, you have succeeded. To make it more difficult, you can stack more dice on top of each other. Doing 10 can be difficult, but very reasonable and doable. The longer the popsicle stick, the more difficult it is going to be. The trick for this is to either bite down very hard and the popsicle stick is not going to move, or you want to be relaxed and let gravity do its job with the popsicle stick hitting the roof of your mouth, and you just have to tilt your head. Either way, things are going to get dicey. Ooh, get it? Like the name, A Bit Dicey, because it's dice? You know, because ball drop, which is something I was very successful at doing as a kid, so I'm pretty much an expert. A kid-friendly challenge that can also be extremely frustrating. You stand on a chair with a triangle of 3 cups about 1 arm's length away from the chair. You stand on that chair and your goal is to bounce the ping pong balls once off the ground and get 1 ping pong ball in each of the 3 cups. And if you do, yay. You need to be standing up straight and cannot bend any limbs to make it easier, so you tall people, finally a disadvantage in something. We did a version of this in part 1, but the ball was right in front of the chair, so all you needed to do was drop it, which made it very, very, very easy. It was much more difficult to have the ball bounce more than I thought, but the more challenging did make it a little bit more fun, even if it was a little frustrating, in a good way. You could also play with the distance and make it more challenging or easier, or add the amount of ping pong balls that you need to get in the cups, or add more cups so you have a wider range to get it in. Defying Gravity is a game in which every single one of us has definitely done. They were with balloons available, and only using one arm, you need to keep both of those balloons up in the air for 60 seconds in a head-to-head version. Just have different colored balloons. You need to keep your balloons up longer than the other person. This makes it more fun because you can get in the way. I would maybe recommend not making this full contact. What an interesting sport to watch, wouldn't that be? You can easily make this a team version by adding multiple balloons. In order to know how many balloons to add, just add 1 balloon for each person, then divide the amount of people by 2. You can make it more difficult for a single person by having 3 balloons. I didn't know how high the difficulty scales up by just adding a single balloon. If you're playing this with kids and you want to add many more balloons, just allow them to use both hands, and then you as an adult can get bragging rights against those kids, so you can show how dominant you are at keeping those balloons up. Yeah, take that, kids. Chinese Halloween. This is when you can finally use your sushi eating skills and abilities that you have been practicing and honing your whole life. With 1 pair of chopsticks and 60 seconds on the clock, you are to empty an entire bag of Skittles or delicious M&Ms into your bowl. You should have about 20 to 30 pieces of candy, and if you can do it by transferring each piece of candy to your bowl, you are victorious, and you can celebrate by, going to that sushi place. Just make sure you're not using a huge bag of candy for the 60 seconds. I would recommend about that 25 to 30 pieces, with anything after that is going to be in the head-to-head version. It's just whoever separates the most pieces of candy into their bowl wins. If the candy is really round or the candy is very, very small, it actually makes this more difficult, except for those people who use chopsticks and they can flex their finger dexterity muscles. This is going to be an Epic Trilogy, so there is going to be part 3 with so many more games as well that we did on this day. It's going to be released on the channel in just a couple of days, so if you just hit that subscribe button, that video is going to come to you. But before we go, I want to give you one last creation, which is something we definitely do not recommend. To be very clear, I do not recommend this, and this is for entertainment purposes only. A wink? Balloon Bullseye. We had a bunch of available balloons, so obviously we did the next logical, insane, and safe thing, which was to shoot the balloons with a Nerf gun. Look, if you're gonna pop those balloons in your hands, that's really close to your ears, that could damage your hearing. What if one of those pieces goes into your eyes? Look, we're just trying to be safe. Our goal was to use the Nerf gun and stand about 1 meter away, load up that Nerf gun, and shoot the balloon. We found out very quickly that the balloons were too strong and more powerful than we could ever imagine. And the Nerf bullets just bounced off. A little disappointing because we wanted to be cowboys and cowgirls. I'm not telling you who wanted to be what. So we did the next logical thing and the safest thing that we could think of, which was to spear throw a fork to them. This is not safe, and I do not recommend trying this. Wink. If you're looking for other adventures outside, perhaps, and you want to save money, I have links to Groupon and Airbnb, but that is part 2 of the Minute to Win It experience. What do you think? Are you excited for the finale? There are so many other games out there, and I hope you are ready for part 3 that is going to come out in just a couple of days. If you are doing this on your own, you can always hit me up on social media or put it down in the comments down below, and we can definitely share these games together. But either way, let's go to the next adventure.